Hello and welcome again to our recording now of our Friday episodes. Something crazy happened on Facebook, it was Facebook last week actually.
It was Facebook.
Where our video season.
If anyone watching this can let us know how can a Facebook Live where other people interact become scrambled right afterwards. Like, let us know. We are confused.
Yeah, absolutely. So we found the value of the content so valuable last week in terms of what it is that you should be doing if you're looking for a job right now. And it was so valuable. The feedback's been amazing from the live video that we felt it was very important to just re-record the content. So we are here again, just recording the content from last week about what to be doing if you are looking for a job right now.
Yeah, really. And I want to sort of connect it to what we did previously with Libby. If you guys saw the video with Libby, where she shared what way of thinking might be blocking you right now from, attacking the market, depending on not depending on whether you are an employee or a boss or a business owner. There might be things in your mind that is blocking you from success today. So I encourage everyone to go back and see the video with Libby too.
100%. Absolutely.
Yeah. But today, Leena, I'm gonna be, sort of like interviewing you.
That's fine.
Because I think you are the best person to literally talk about it. Like, you've got 10 years or more of experience in headhunting and human resources, right?
Yes.
So I don't know who's the best or better than you to answer these questions. Like, there's people out of work or people who are afraid they will lose work soon. And so what should someone be doing today if they're out of work?
They should be treating their job as looking for a job. If you are out of work right now, your full-time job is to look for a full-time job. Don't be lazy about it. You just because you're out of work is not a permission slip for you to get up late. It's not a permission slip to have a 2-hour lunch. It's not a permission slip to go and have that extra gym session if you want it. If you are out of work, your full-time job from 9 till 5 is looking for a full-time job. Some people think, oh, I'll do it in the evening. But
right.
Who are you going to catch in the evenings? What business owner are you going to catch in the evening at their office or working from home on their office phone? I can't stress this enough. If you are looking for a full-time job, your full-time job is looking for that job, and people think that looking for a job is just a matter of going online and applying for jobs. But it's so much more than that. There's seven things that you could be doing in that day. And just like you would plan your day at work, plan your day if you are looking for a job right now. 9 till 11, do this. 11 till 12, do this. Have half an hour lunch break. From 12:30 till 2:30, do this. And there's 7 things that you should be doing. So we just want to quickly run through those 7 things right now.
Leena, you just crushed my dreams. Like, I always thought that when you don't have a job, you finally do vacate. You do rest. But you're so right.
Yeah,
there's no time to waste.
Absolutely. Having a vacation, being on holiday is totally different to not having a job. If you have a job, you can afford to have a vacation and take that rest. If you don't have a job right now, in my opinion, you can't really afford to have that rest unless you've got, like you mentioned earlier today in our live, unless you've got that 1 year worth of salary tucked away to make up for this kind of time that you're in at the moment, then eat your heart out. Go to that extra gym session, lay in if you want to. Yeah, exactly. But if you don't have a year's worth of salary in your bank right now, and you are not working or you don't have a job, you just can't afford the time off, in my opinion. So there's 7 things that you can fill your day with. People think, well, what am I going to do from 9 till 5? I'm going to tell you now what you should be doing.
Okay.
Job search online. Yeah, please.
Because I don't know, like it's been so long since I looked for a new job, but literally I would be like, okay, I'm getting up and sending a couple of emails and then going to,
Yeah.
gym.
Exactly. Yeah. So you should, job searching is definitely one of those. And there's lots of different ways you can job search. I mean, you can job search on job boards, and there are so many jobs out there. So definitely apply for jobs, but make sure that the jobs that you're applying for are relevant to what it is that you're looking for. Don't apply for everything and anything. Don't apply for 200 jobs and then see what comes back. Because it's not a good strategy for longevity within a company, and it's not a good strategy to really want to work with passion in your next job. LinkedIn is a really good place to do job searches as well, and do job searches on company websites. Pick like the top 25 companies that you would want to work for. Go onto their websites, because companies will always advertise on their websites if they've got any openings. A, because they don't want to spend money on job ads on job boards, and B, they don't want to spend money on recruiters. They would rather people came to their doors, because it saves them time and saves them money. So number one is job searching, and you can do that on job boards, LinkedIn, and company websites. Second thing is apply for those jobs.
You're making sense.
Yeah, so you look for the jobs and then you apply for the jobs, right? But make sure that you apply and place due diligence on writing a good cover letter, making sure that your CV is relevant for each and every job that you're applying for. Some people think that writing one CV is enough and it's going to be relevant for every single job that you apply for. That is wrong. Each job requires a different set of skills. Each company is looking for a different set of skills. So how can one CV fit all, And job boards don't make this easy, because they do work on the premise that one CV will fit all. So that's why I recommend contacting recruiters or contacting the companies directly, because then you can really tailor your cover letter and your CV for that particular role. One CV does not fit all, and don't fall into that trap. So make sure you apply for the jobs, but apply with relevant cover letters and relevant CVs. The third thing that you should be doing is research. Research the companies that you would want to work for. There might be companies out there that you don't even know about in your sector.
Of course.
So in this environment right now, what we are finding is larger companies not being able to sustain themselves. But smaller companies, because they have less overheads and because they are able to be agile and shrink back if they need to with the least amount of cost, it means that a lot of small companies right now are recruiting at a faster rate than bigger companies at the minute.
Okay. This really makes me think and I mean, it's so good for the person who's looking for a job too. It's like you could literally choose where to work and what's the location, what kind of a boss would you have? I remember, I'm doing that before I go sign contracts. I check out the owner of the company, whether he has any videos, does he do speeches somehow? There's always on press or something. So I literally do that to understand whether this person is ready and willing, and would I be willing to work for them?
Yeah, absolutely. And the same thing, don't just research the companies, research the owner, research the management structure. I would pick up the phone to the company and just say, I'd like to apply for a job for your company, but I'd like to know a little bit more about the management structure. Do you have 5 minutes right now just to run through the structure of the company so I can do my due diligence?
Right. I remember my husband, when he was looking for a job, he found a company nearby that wasn't looking for anyone yet.
Yes.
And he's like, but I really like them. And so he's like, hey, I moved here. I want to work for you, blah, blah. I like you very much because, not just bubbles and shinies, but he knew because.
Yeah.
So, and he got a job that wasn't even there yet. He made a position for himself.
Yeah. And that's exactly what you can do. You can create a position based on the
Yeah.
value proposition that you have for a company. And that's what we'll be teaching you in our webinar next week. So if you joined us our live, you'll know that we're doing a free webinar for everyone next week. And that's exactly what we're going to teach you, how to make your value proposition to a company. Yeah. At the end of the day, your CV, believe it or not, is a business proposal to that company.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a historical document of your life.
No, you're saying such harsh words, I believe, to so many people, Leena, but yeah, I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, it's a business proposal, and treat it like that. And therefore, the other thing that you should be doing is writing and rewriting your CV, writing and rewriting your cover letter, so you can create a good value proposition for your prospective company, you know. And the final thing that you should be doing is going for interviews, you know. So if you tell me right now that you think those 7 things will take you 2 hours a day, then I'm sorry, like, your full-time job should be looking for a full-time job, for sure.
What is the amount of time that you're giving? Like, I don't know, like the people I know, they keep looking for jobs for like months. Like, but I'm not sure they're doing all of these things. Do you have any experience on how fast people can find a job if they do all of this?
If you do it right, I personally believe that within 7 to 14 days, you can have a new job.
In a week's time?
Yeah.
Do you know anyone who landed a job in a week's time?
I do it all the time, every day.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. You know, there's people who, okay, somebody went for an interview yesterday, got offered the job on the spot, and is booked in for a training course on the 21st of September.
Wow.
And I only spoke to that lady, or well, one of my consultants spoke to that lady last week. So within a week, we've interviewed her, we've screened her, we've got her booked in for an interview. She went for the interview yesterday, she got offered the job, and she's starting later on next month.
Wow. Wow. And it's just a matter of diligence, literally.
It is. It's a matter of diligence, and it's a matter of, what are you committed to? Yeah. You know, are you committed to 100% finding a new job, or are you committed to sleeping in?
Yeah.
Are you committed to finding a new job? Or are you more committed to the gym? And I'm a gym fanatic, so I'm not saying the gym doesn't matter. It absolutely does. But I know that I can work a full-time job. I can run a business that is taking a lot of hours, but I can still fit in everything else that I need to do that satisfies my soul. So yeah, like, you should be really, really diligent with your time, for sure.
Yeah. You know, since you spoke of these video calls, because nowadays interviews take place on videos, well, do you have any critique to give? You know, like, because we do want to show people some good advice on the webinar, how to communicate online, but maybe you have some funny stories, like, to me, that might be a little bit obvious to do a video interview because I'm training people live, but like, maybe to someone who's watching and has never been on a live interview, what not to do?
I'll start with what to do.
Okay.
That seems like a good place to start. So make sure that you are professionally dressed, of course. Just because you are having the interview in your home doesn't mean that you don't treat it like you are going to the offices of this company. I would envision yourself walking into the head office of the company that you're going to interview with, and position your mindset in that way. Yes. And it's going back to what Libby said last week, you know, it's all about how you go, what your mindset is like, and that's how you then position yourself. And it's all about your value proposition, and your value proposition actually starts here.
Yeah.
So you've got to make sure that you're in the right mindset, that you're in the mindset that you are going to be entering the doors of their corporate head office of whichever company that you're going to have the interview with. And secondly, like, you've got to make sure that you have a professional, clean background. You know, nobody expects you to have a home office if you don't have one. So if you're going to be having your interview on your dining table, it's totally understandable and it's 100% acceptable. But make sure your background is clean and it's tidy. and it's
Yeah.
presentable.
Because it goes back to the problem skills and money skills that we spoke of earlier in our live, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it
Your
also goes
private life
back to
shows
the,
your actual
yeah,
attitude.
and it goes back to the value proposition. How you take care of your home is an indication as to how you're going to take care of your job and how you're going to take care of your company.
Yeah, 100%. Like always works.
Yeah. So you've got to make sure that you haven't got, if you do, it's the school holidays, so we appreciate that there's going to be kids at home. Just make sure that they're in a different room and not running up to you. Just, I mean, it sounds like common sense, but you'd be really surprised how many people don't take online interviews seriously. They just think it's an excuse to be lazy for some reason, and an excuse not to make an effort. Get dressed up like you're going to be entering the doors of that corporate head office, you know, and just don't, just because you're at home, don't be relaxed in that environment. Get those nerves, get that nervousness into your system.
Like the adrenaline, right?
Yeah, the adrenaline really, really helps you. So get that into your system, because it's going to enable you to perform better.
Yeah.
You know?
Or has there been anyone who's like not doing that? It's hard for me to imagine someone in their underwear doing a job interview, but have you had those things happening?
You know, we've never had issues with people not dressing well for a home interview or an online interview, but we did have a story a couple of weeks ago where one of our clients plays a video as part of the online interview just to give them a little bit of an overview of the company. And one of the candidates, and I'm embarrassed to even say it, but I think it's important that people know that this is happening, that a candidate thought it was okay for him to just light up a cigarette whilst watching this video. You wouldn't do that in the company's office, so don't do that on an online interview. Just because you're at home is not permission to be relaxed about the situation.
No. Oh gosh. Yeah, people tend to be relaxed, right? And they don't get the mindset of you are at work. Yeah, this is so important, Leena. Thanks for sharing.
You're so welcome. And it's just as important, you know, when you are job searching or you're hunting for a job and doing interviews, I would say get up and dress up like you're going out of your house to look for a job, because how you present yourself will absolutely 100% affect your productivity for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'm really looking forward to talk more and deeper about this. And, you know, since we agreed to do a common webinar next week, I just want to do, you know, a shout out to anyone who's listening right now to go and check out the video that we did today. Probably, Leena, you're going to attach a link to this one too, where we explain even more. Like, I mean, what you did right now is already good enough for someone who's in need. Like, if you are desperately thinking of how to increase your value, how to not lose your job, how to look for a job, this alone, what Leena just said, is already good enough for you to take into account and keep in mind. But we did want to give people more to really enable the world to get back on track, to not stay stuck in this economical situation that we are facing. And so we decided to do a webinar, both of us together, including the topic that Leena touched today, including the online communication, right? And I just want everyone to go back and check out the other video that we did, and click on the link that Leena shares with you right now below somehow, depending on what the technical solution is going to be for this. But I'm sure, Leena, you will share the link to the previous video today, right?
Absolutely. You know, Karlina and I are so passionate about you guys succeeding, whether you're in a job right now or whether you are looking for a job, whether you're facing redundancy and you're not sure whether you're going to make the cut or not. So we have created a absolutely free webinar for you, teaching you 3 skills. 3 skills that Karlina and I went through on our Facebook Live today. And those 3 skills are problem solving skills, money skills, and communication skills, people skills. And those are the 3 skills that are going to create more value in your value proposition when you're looking for a job. So if you want to have more information about the webinar itself, it's completely free. It's next Thursday, the 3rd of September. Please comment value below this video and we will send you the link so you can sign up to it. And we look forward to seeing you next Thursday and then next Friday for our weekly episodes. So have a fantastic weekend. Thank you again for rewatching this if you've already watched the scrambled version. And if you got annoyed by the scrambled version, I'm so glad that you finally got this content. Hope it was valuable for you, and we will see you next weekend.
Bye. See you soon.
Bye.